Some time ago I mentioned that the second quarterly review by the Progress Committee was pending, and that I met with the committee, and I've in the meantime received the draft report. It is not the final report, but I still would like to highlight some things that are in the draft report, fully realizing that the final report could have some differences. The committee, you know, for a long time we have been getting very, let's say, negative reviews, and this report shows some sign of hope in what we are doing, and I think it is good, especially for those people who are involved in creating the better situation, improving the situation, that they know that their work is being appreciated. One of the things that the committee mentioned, for instance, is that it was very pleased with the appointment of Mr. Jason Rogers as a member of the committee. For many years, you could say, the committee has been coming to St. Martin, and a representative of St. Martin was not appointed on the committee. This time it was for all of us in St. Martin a real pleasure when sitting talking to the committee to know that Mr. Rogers was part of the committee. The committee also appreciated that and extended thanks to the government and all of those involved in who made sure that that appointment took place. The committee spoke about the image that exists in their general remarks, and I would quote a short piece of the report. For a long time, the committee was almost discouraged by the lack of progress in the implementation of the action plans. After the previous working visit, there was evidence of a turnaround in that situation, and the observation during this working visit is that the change has been started. Important steps are the consent of the Council of Ministers for the police recruitment plan and the measures taken by the Minister of Justice, which show that he's paying attention to the poor situation at the prison. I think coming from the committee and comparing with previous reports, that is something that my team and I are very proud of and happy with that it is mentioned. Also, reference was made to the task force. I mentioned that a task force was implemented, HRM task force, to deal with the personnel situation, and we indicated that we have as goal that the over 100 pending individual cases, hopefully by the end of the year, that we would finalize those. The committee mentioned about that the committee looks on this with approval and hopes that the minister will be successful in his endeavors within the determined period of time, because the investment in personnel, also with the training that the minister has in mind, is the most important step in the improvement and functioning of the ministry and the prison. So there too, we got a nod. The committee also mentioned that the minister has assured the committee that he is striving to bring peace and order to the prison as soon as possible, and thereafter to develop a vision for the future of the prison. It seems that peace and order have almost been achieved, thanks to the interim management duo, and I think that is a big plus for Mr. Carty and Mr. Williams, because in the height of the heat, they stood up to the call, and they went up to the prison where no one wanted to go near the prison, and for the Progress Committee to acknowledge the work that they have done to this effect. I think all of us in St. Martin should give them a big hail out and think, because when we often talk that, you know, we don't have people who can do certain things, I think Mr. Cartier and Mr. Williams proved that we do. So I definitely wanted to mention that part. The committee also said that prison counterparts, meaning all of those other folks like police and other instances that have to work with the prison, mention a good working relationship with the prison. And the committee says those are signs of improvement. And that is good to mention and good to hear.
Hey guys, did you know that now with Telcel, if you accumulate $25 or more within one calendar month, you get 15 more?
15 more?
Yes, 15 more. However you want.
So I can top up $3 now, $10 next week, and so on until I reach or pass $25?
That's right. Get 15 more.
Wow! I feel like a 15 again.
Yeah. Right. Accumulate $25 or more within one calendar month and get 15 more. Telcel, when you want more.
Need a loan that's quick and easy. Island Finance. Up to 50,000 guineas real easy. Island Finance. For education, a renovation. That's no problem. Yes, it's true. That's not all. They're quick and friendly too. Island Finance. Appliances, vacations, even fix your car. You can depend on Island Finance.
Win yourself a brand new car from the St. Martin's Lions Club and Port of St. Martin Group of Companies. Get your tickets for the Gold Green Car Raffle and win a brand new Toyota Prius C. Tickets only $10. Get your tickets today. The more tickets you get, the more chances you have. Draw date, Sunday, October 8th. It's available at Van Godberdeen Madam Estate, Big D's Photo Studio on the Pondville, and from all Lion members and at the Lion's Den. Get your tickets to win a brand new car from the St. Martin's Lions Club and Port of St. Martin Group of Companies.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Mega Wadi is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
In news from the Education Department, just to update, monthly the Education Department meets with school boards on St. Martin to discuss various aspects. As you know, we're busy with some innovations that we involve the school boards in. But as minister, I have asked the Education Department to spend to specifically point out and have some interesting discussions, and hopefully I'll include myself in those with school boards in reflecting on their rules, regulations, their statutes, etc., in a sense of, are we meeting the needs of our students? Are our rules and regulations in keeping with the 21st century? A lot of these schools have been established for many, many years, and I believe without intention that many of their rules may have surpassed their usability, their validity. As minister, I do not have, a hammer to pound on anyone's head, but I would like at this time to encourage school boards to assess your rules, regulations, assess your norms, assess what you are doing to assist in this process. We all have a role to play, and in these meetings, collaborating and giving feedback to each other in a collegial manner, I believe, can only bring forth a positive change for this community. I think we've been seeing the cry out there by the public and complaints and in not addressing them, it is, to me, disrespectful. As minister, I don't have that type of control, but the dialogue continues, and I will do my best to continue to encourage school boards to assess, reflect, and make the necessary changes within your rules and regulations in keeping with the 21st century. We've had several back-to-school workshops, we've had conferences, as well as symposia aimed at the 21st century learner. And I think it is not only expected that teachers and students and parents make the adjustment, but that school boards also. And of course, government, most naturally. In that respect, I would like to commend the MAC Comprehensive Secondary Education School, which has submitted an application to become a member of the UNESCO Associated School Project Network. This is a wonderful network. When accepted, this will be the first school on the southern side of St. Martin to become a UNESCO associated school. On the northern side, the Aline Hansen Elementary School is already an associate school and has been for several years, and sometimes you may notice they do collaborative projects with actually the Mac Elementary School. The UNESCO Associated Schools Project, ASP.NET, is a network of schools throughout the world committed to the ideals of UNESCO by conducting pilot projects in favor of better preparing children and strengthening the role of education in promoting a culture of peace and tolerance. These are great ideals. UNESCO Associated Schools conduct pilot projects, undertake innovative approaches, test educational materials, making significant contributions to improving the quality of education, learning, and content. Other schools are encouraged to join such an effort as well and can contact the SG UNESCO Marcelia Henry in an effort to bring their school into this network. So I do encourage all other schools who may have that as an ideal to join, as it is then another resource in helping to take our learners into the top of our world's ambitious leaders. Today, August 23rd, is International Day of Remembrance of the Slave Trade and its abolition. The International Day was first celebrated in a number of countries, in particular in Haiti on the 23rd of August, 1998. According to UNESCO, the International Day for the Remembrance of the Slave Trade and the Abolition is intended to inscribe the tragedy of the slave trade in the memory of all peoples. It gives people a chance to think about the historic causes, the methods, and the consequences of slave trade. The Director General of UNESCO invites all ministers of culture and all member states to organize events every year on that date, involving the entire population of their country, and in particular young people, educators, artists, and intellectuals. To commemorate this UN observance this year, the St. Martin National Commission for UNESCO will present the afternoon school program coordinators with copies of the illustrated coloring book about the life of Toussaint Louverture, 1743 to 1803, one of the slave uprisers of Haiti, which many of us learn about in school, which can be of, this coloring book can be of use to educate students about the life of Toussaint and the significant role he played in the liberation of the enslaved people of Haiti, which also played a key role in the abolition of the transatlantic slave trade and the fight for freedom in the Caribbean and beyond. Educators and organizers, including youth associations, government agencies, as well as non-governmental organizations, can promote the day by informing people about the historical events associated with slave trading, the slave trade in particular, the consequences of the slave trade, and to promote tolerance and human rights. And I must say, in recent discourse over the past few weeks, especially at the educational symposiums that I have attended, the effect of colonialism as a result of the slave trade on our present situation still continues to rear its head. And so I believe the discussion and the dialogue coming out of this year of, I believe, a heightened awareness can only serve to further liberate us in our minds as well as in our systems and actions. So I look forward to seeing all these such activities.
across St. Martin are switching to a more rewarding experience. The WIB MasterCard Fun Miles credit card, better known as My Card. Earn 1 Fun Mile for every $2 spent, even abroad and online. This will quickly get you a ton of Fun Miles to redeem for travel, shopping, food, fuel, and much more. But there's more to My Card. Worldwide acceptance, an EMV chip for extra security, and 250 free Fun Miles with first use. Switch to My Card today at WIB.
Fun miles, from within your reach.
Hey guys, did you know that now with Telcel, if you accumulate $25 or more within 1 calendar month, you get 15 more?
15 more?
Yes, 15 more. However you want.
So I can top up $3 now, $10 next week, and so on until I reach or pass $25?
That's right. Get 15 more.
Wow! I feel like a 15 again.
Yeah. Right. Accumulate $25 or more within 1 calendar month and get 15 more. Telcel, when you want more.
Win yourself a brand new car from the St. Martin's Lions Club and Port of St. Martin Group of Companies. Get your tickets for the Gold Green Car Raffle and win a brand new Toyota Prius C. Tickets only $10. Get your tickets today. The more tickets you get, the more chances you have. Draw date, Sunday, October 8th. It's available at Van Godberdeen, Madam Estate, Big D's Photo Studio on the Pondville, and from all Lion members and at the Lions Den. Get your tickets to win a brand new car from the St. Martin's Lions Club and Port of St. Martin Group of Companies.
We should be happy, in fact, but I'm not that happy yet, to be honest, because the work has to start now. Having an accreditation means that you also have to prove you're worth it. So that means that the coming 2 years, and we already had it in hospitality, people from the United Kingdom are coming to look over our shoulder and they're going to say if it's good enough or not good enough. Now, we know we have a lack on this island in qualified teachers, and really, I'm hunting for them to get qualified teachers. So it's getting a little bit better, but nevertheless, it's not yet good enough. But BTEC, besides of the accreditation, it's not all what we need. We need also to change, to improve, to innovate our education, because that's far more important. I'm not only working at the USM, I'm also, you see my students sitting there, at Sundial. And I feel the need that something has to happen. And that is not only working with tablets or digitalizing the world like Mr. Alan November told us last Thursday. There's a little bit more necessary. We have to train our teachers, yeah? In fact, we have to train the whole society. It's time for lots of people who have very important posts to step down, to give it over to the young generation, because that is lacking as well. As an example, Pearson, BTEC says always learning. We do the same. We have long continuing education and lifelong learning. We already started it with CEL. So it's not totally new, but we are struggling on that aspect as well, because the society, St. Martin, is not used to that we always need to study. It's not like, I have my degree, it's done. No, we move on again. It has to happen and happen again. Next slide, please. Yeah. Then you get questions. Why? Why is that necessary? Because we have to think different. Now, the question to this slide, of course, is, where are we flying? Over which country? Now, I think everybody can say that that's Africa. But the question is asked different. It's more open. Because if we move on like this, then we can have the accreditation, we have the BTEC, yeah? And then we can plead for Ms. Bakers, please give us some money, because we are private. We are a private funded USM. And I am in my free time most of the time standing every evening here to teach those students, to get them further, yeah? Because I'm motivated. But other people would like to get a proper salary, yeah? Which is difficult, because USM is really private, yeah? We are no government school or whatever. It would be good if the government realizes that to get our people on a higher standard, we need a little bit more money. It's not a lot, because all the schools are funded, but USM is not funded, or partly, but not a lot. It's not enough. To be able to carry out the BTEC proper, we really need more money, because we have to change the education system. There are two persons sitting here, they know. We changed it already. We're doing it in our spare time. We're making assignment briefs, yeah? People are looking over our shoulder and say, wow, wow, what a job are you doing, yeah? And it should be even become better, because there is more needed to raise my sundial students sitting over there. Yeah? They never can reach this level because there's a lack, there's a gap between USM and the primary and the secondary schools. Then we have a big hole which is not covered. We don't have a level 3 and 4 on this island. NIPA is only offering level 1 and 2. So my students have to come to pre-USM, GED. They already pay a fortune then to be able to enter their associate's degree. Yeah? So money is really a problem, and it shouldn't be, because as we saw in the video, in fact, I think education should be free. Nobody should pay for education. A country should elevate its own society by making education free. Yeah? And there are countries who are doing that. They make education free. Yeah? Our roads are anyway bad. GB is anyway not functioning proper. So why not give all the money to education?
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
We now have UK accredited associate degrees in hospitality and tourism management and a set in business management. We're going to start up in a few minutes. So in these 3 years, the USM has been diligently working to make sure that these programs that students go to on St. Martin are fully accredited programs. It's good to have those accredited programs. The second step is also to make sure that you have adequate buildings, that your accommodations are up to par, that students can have the sense that when I choose for the USM, I can go and live in dorms. That's important. It's also important, as Mr. Van Beek said, we have to make sure that those students that go to the sundial but actually have the brains to actually be managers, that they get the opportunity to be managers. That's why we organize the pre-USM program. That's why we have a set of students here. One of them later on that the press can speak to is Ms. Whitney Murray, who actually began with the pre-USM program, and last year she graduated with a fully accredited degree in hospitality management. We know that the Ministry of TIAT will also be part of making sure that we get the expansion of the dorms. So we have Mr. Cecil Nicholas, who will be speaking a bit later, but we have the person who's the mastermind behind actually making sure that the USM can actually get those dorms, and the way we're going to try and get that, and that is Mr. Dani Ramchandani. So I'm going to actually let him explain this to you.
All 3-4 pillars at the same time going up if the building has to be built properly. So what are the pillars for USM? We promised that we will have accredited programs. So our management team has achieved that. We said we will make sure that all the students who graduate from schools like Sundial would be able to come to USM. It is possible now. But we need to expand our facilities here. Making buildings probably is pretty easy. We can find funding and build amazing dorms, amazing offices, but they have to be filled. We need students, qualified students, to be in our school. But we cannot do that if all the laws are not put in place, all the funding is not put in place. We need that help from our government. We definitely need the higher education law in place so that when the students come here, they are confident that when they graduate, they will have a degree that's recognized. I have managed as a group from our board to put a program together for fundraising. We will do the construction. We will start. But we need to have all the ingredients together for the future generation to come out of USM with a reasonable degree that will be recognized worldwide. We cannot, if we don't have that, all the effort that we are putting is not worth it. We are a voluntary board, and we have put our heart and soul into making the USM take it to a future level, to a higher level now. And we need not only the help of government, we need the help of every citizen on this island who believes that education, the higher education, is important. I'm stopped so many times on the road these days by young professionals who have kids who are like 6, 7 years old, and they say, please make this happen because I don't want my kids to leave me when they are 14 or 15 years. So we need to do this together. And we will do it together. But all ingredients should be there. I'm from the food business, so I can give you an example.